Hello everyone, and welcome back to World Builder. In this episode, we're going to be finishing up the exterior of the keep for the most part. We might do some minor adjustments to it later, but I don't think anything major will happen anymore to the outside of the keep itself. So it means we can start focusing on other parts of the town more, and the interior of the keep, of course, which will be an interesting challenge in itself. So, the central tower, I didn't know how I wanted to do it, but I have an idea, and yeah, it'll look pretty much the exact same as the other towers, except taller. But it has a different effect because I round out the bottom instead of doing a trim. There's no wood trim around it. It's just just there, kind of. So you'll see what I mean when we get there. But yeah, this is the final exterior keep episode. That's interesting. It took us this long, but well, I mean, we also spent the previous 2 episodes building houses. But I was planning on doing all of the houses in 1 episode. But that probably won't end up happening, just because of time constraints for me. I don't have all the time in the world to do these. I do it more than I could. I could probably do it, but it would just be an episode of building houses, and I don't think that's very interesting anymore. I mean, it was the first couple of times, because you can see how I do it, but now that you know how I do it, it's not very interesting, in my opinion, to look at every single house being built. So it'll just be kind of like a side project for episodes. I'll do an episode, let's say I build a tavern. So I'll build the tavern and focus on building the tavern, and then I'll build 2 houses, sped up a lot, so you can just see oh, he built these 2 houses also along with the tavern. Yeah, that's kind of my goal here with the houses. That's the plan. We'll see how that ends up turning out once I start actually building the tavern. But we'll see what happens. So here I tried to do diagonal pillars, and they look terrible, so I didn't do them. But yeah, this is what this tower will look like. It's similar in style. The top part is just a fence sticking high, same as the other ones, but it is different. So for this, I decided to make this diamond shape, which I keep. I keep the diamond shape, but I didn't center it, and I didn't really think about it, because I think it looks fine without being centered, and I kind of like how it looks kind of just higher up. But I tried so many different things here with it to try and change it, but that is what I decided on. This design is the final design that will be incorporated on all 4 sides of the tower. I make a window in here too. And I think that looks pretty good, and it's detailing for the highest tower, because of course the king lives in the highest tower, so his stuff has to be the most important of all the other towers, and has the most detail and the most ornamentation on it, because otherwise, what marks him out as the king, Yeah, so we have this detailing. I think it looks pretty good, and I'm happy with it. If I wasn't happy with it, I would change it. I think it looks pretty good. So, there's that. Which is good. Because if I didn't think it looked good, then why would I even build it in the first place? So I used the oak bark in there to remove the side texture of the oak, the top part. I just removed it by using bark, and I think it looks a lot better, so glad I kept it that way. So now you can see here, I can kind of I'm looking at it right now. I changed up on the first level, I changed up the wood to be arches on the walls, but on the towers it stays as straight pillars. Um, and it looks a lot better. There's a lot less wood going on, a lot less noise happening, um, and it just looks a lot better, I think. Um, you can see what I did with the second layer. I have to like change up the ground. Um, that's probably the biggest issue. I didn't undo my previous groundwork before I added in new pillars, so I had to like redesign it to fit with the new pillars instead of with the old pillars. But I think the end result is pretty good. With the second layer, I just remove the wood. I want the layers to be different. Um, I can make them the same. I don't think I need to, because I like the way that this looks with the arches on the first level and nothing on the second. Um, but the second layer looks really good, because like there's no focus. Or I mean like the white wall, there's no wood anymore. It just looks so much better as being just solid white. So I make that adjustment to all four sides, and we can see sort of what that ends up looking like as I go along. Okay, so I don't know if I've like mentioned this yet, but this place does need a name. I don't know what to name it. I would be open to suggestions. If anyone has any ideas, suggestions are welcome. That doesn't mean I'll accept every suggestion that I'll get, and if you're the only person that makes a suggestion, that doesn't mean I'll take it either. It's just a suggestion, not like a this is definite, this will be the name kind of thing. So don't get worried. Like, even if you suggest a name, there's still a chance it won't be picked. Just keep that in mind. But I don't think that'll be a problem for the most part. I hope it's not a problem. That'd be interesting. Anyway, I think I should mention, on the arch layer, I use bark to make the arch itself, but then and the top block of the middle pillar going down, but then the rest of that pillar is oak wood, just so I can get the vertical texture on all four sides without having one of those being like a side, because it just looks kind of strange. Yeah. And then, again, removing the walls on the second layer, removing the wood. It looks so much nicer, so much cleaner. I keep the wood on the towers though, because that like adds focus to them, I guess. I don't know. So now, I probably was looking up flag designs. I had to give this place a flag, right? Because I mean, you can't have a city without its flag. So, came up with a basic design. I think every like kingdom, town, city thing I make will have its own flag, like a flag design. But I don't want to make it larger than the 3 blocks tall. For the most part, I will on the top tower, but on these smaller towers, I don't want to make it larger than 3 blocks tall. So the like red, black, red is like this kingdom's color, I guess. Even though they make all their towers blue, but I didn't want to make a blue flag because that would just go like with the towers too much. It wouldn't contrast enough. So red, black, red. I tried to make them all face the same direction because that's how wind works. Is they all face the same direction. So there's that. I think I did a pretty good job. They look pretty good. And I do them over here as well. Yeah. I added a slab to the top of the fences also. You can kind of see it if you look hard enough. But it just looks better, I think, to have like a definite top to like the flagpole, instead of it just being like a fence that goes off into nothingness. It doesn't look finished, I guess. It looks like it would just fall off. So there's that. Now we do some final panoramic shots. And with that, I'm going to leave this here. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed. Leave a comment, any feedback you have for me, and I'll see all of you later. Bye.